Okay, so today's progress for me was pretty slow. Not a good day for myself. I had to skip this video. Well, I actually watched it 2 times, but it's not marked as done. Um, yeah, pretty busy day for me. I haven't had much of my brain cells left, but yeah, at least some topics are covered by me. Yeah, the software stacks I'll have to leave off for tomorrow. Yeah, I also made the mistakes from the software stacks video. And yeah, okay, so tools in software development. Yeah, that's mostly the first video. Yeah, so IBM members talked about the version control, which basically is just the same concept as in Excel and Word by Microsoft. Yeah, you have a way to look back at the previous versions of yours. Well, in this case, your software that you're developing, or well, it doesn't need to be a software, it can just be a script or a simple program, but you can go back into your previous version without any errors. It also tracks, if you work in a team, it also tracks who made the change and when. And at any point, you can come back to the version before the change has been made. So in case you're unable to fix it, the integration has some problem, you can just go back and, yeah, let's say back in time. Um, yeah, okay, libraries. Yeah, libraries and frameworks. Those are two things that could be used interchangeably, I guess, but I don't recommend it. Yeah, so the definition is that a library is a collection of reusable code that help developers implement specific features without starting from scratch. Yeah, and the example is a jQuery for the DOM manipulation. It hasn't been covered in this course yet. And Apache for Java components, also not covered yet. But yeah, the difference between a framework and a library is that the library is basically a set of functions or components that you can use anywhere in your code, however you please. But the framework, for example, gives you a structure of the project, so you don't have as much flexibility, but yeah, it can save you a lot of effort and time. So if you're building some application that should use this framework, I guess it's better than starting from scratch, depending on your preferences. So unless you want to make something very creative, I guess using the framework is a good idea. Um, yeah, CI/CD. I spent a lot of time on this. So continuous integration with continuous delivery, yeah, or continuous deployment. They're interchangeable pretty much. Um, Yeah, so these tools enable developers to deliver frequent changes reliably, and they're implemented through a built automation server. Yeah, the built automation server is important in here. So I wrote a note, yeah, I made some research, and I just wanted to compare these two because it sounded like a developer's job. So, well, it used to be, now it's automated. So yeah, the role of the developer, of course, is just to write the code and the the logic of the program, while the role of the CI is to automate the process by building the code or compiling the code into runnable format and running the tests. Yeah, it tests the code. If you upload it to GitHub, I believe, it will automatically tell you if there are any errors. So if you just write down some code and you just upload it to GitHub directly, it's gonna tell you there's an error even without you running it. Um, I don't think it's the best practice, but yeah, it's doable. Okay, yeah, there's the advantage. Okay, build tools. Yeah, okay. So these organize the source code, set compile flags, and manage dependencies. Um, that's a very high level definition, and I'm gonna keep it there. But uh, uh, uh. Okay, yeah. So in the environments that we work in, it can be difficult to keep track of what changes were made. It's partially the CI/CD also, but Yeah, I think I will have to rephrase these notes because it's not very efficiently written down. Okay, I'll do it later. Um, Build automation. Yeah, okay, so they can automate a variety of tasks that developers do in their day-to-day life. Um, right, okay. Yeah, definitely. I need to rephrase this. This one's a little better. Ignore the above. My bad. Yeah, so downloading dependencies, compiling source code into binary code, and packaging that binary code, running tests, deploying, and production systems. Okay, so the most important for me is probably, compiling the code and into binary. Uh, yeah, if we had to do this manually, it would take us a lot of time, so this will save us some time. Yeah, there we go. I only know about the NPM. Like, there were mentioned some other ones, but I don't remember. NPM got some of my attention as it's for JavaScript, so I guess it should be used for front end. Um, okay, so instead of manually downloading each dependency or compiling tools, like NPM can automate these tasks. So, okay. Yeah, so I suppose if you want a package of dependencies to use in your code, if you want to use a library or framework, then the NPM can help you put it all together, if that makes sense. Uh, I really need to see this in practice. This is highly theoretical, what's mentioned in the course, and yeah, I cannot wait to see in the later courses where this actually leads to. I hope it's gonna be mentioned in practical way. Um, okay, consistency, of course, focus on development, good. Okay, examples of build tools, which is pretty much here. Okay, so Webpack is a module bundler for JavaScript. Babel is a JavaScript compiler. Yeah, I believe Babel is used like for if I'm not mistaken, it's gonna convert JavaScript into binary, but I don't really know. I would be lying. Okay, that seems to be simple. Yeah, okay. So after the apps are developed by us and we've tested them, or the CI/CD tested them, then the apps has to be, simple and trouble-free, or should be, for the end user to install. So on Windows XP before, you had application with exe files and many other installation processes. Well, now you just, yeah, if you download an app from Steam, for example, you're gonna just run it through the icon. Before you would have had to open a folder or directory, and yeah, it wasn't always that simple. So I think that's the usage, but I hope I will find out later in the course, in the practical part. Now it's just my guess. Yeah, and then there's some examples from the course about the package managers. I only remembered NPM, but okay, seems like there's some for Java, Ruby, and Python. And yes, that's the note to myself. Anyway, that's my progress for today. And thank you and see you tomorrow.